This is Driving Solutions, exclusively on CPTnews.com.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Welcome to this edition of Driving Solutions, exclusively right here at CPTnews.com. Showrooms across the country are seeing consumers with challenged credit, and now dealers have the opportunity to not only get those consumers into cars faster, but also expand their profit well beyond that initial sale. The program is called Dealer Controlled Leasing. It allows the dealer to control the lending process. So on today's show, we're learning more about the profit earning potential. We're pleased to welcome back Paul Sansone Jr., the owner of Sansone Jr.'s Auto Group and founder of Dealer Controlled Leasing. Paul, thank you so much for joining us once again in the studio. Last time you were in, we got a ton of inquiries. What was that guy pitching? Because we loved the sound of it. And right now, as you know, dealers have two things. They've got a ton of money because the last 3 years have been great. They want to figure out a great return on that money, and yet they also want to put more people in cars in their communities. And I know last time you and we were talking about this, but for some of the people that might have missed it last time, missed the show, talk to us about the concept of DCL and what the solutions you're providing are.
Well, Dealer Controlled Leasing is a subprime lending department that I've installed in my dealership. I'm a dealer. I have 5 dealerships in Central Jersey. I created this product really for myself. I was always good in the credit markets. I always felt I handled that business better than others. I had learned about the business of credit improvement, and I tried to tie in credit improvement with the ability to deliver customers cars today through a leasing model. So it's really a lease-here-pay-here model that we install as a department within a dealership. And I did it at my dealership, as I said, will be almost the third full year, 3 full years in operation.
Wow, that gives you some historical data, as they say.
Battle tested, made some mistakes along the way, but for the dealers that are joining on in Dealer Controlled Leasing, we're able to share what we've learned, what works, and what possibly you can avoid in the future.
Sure. When dealers hear the term, including myself, when you hear lease to, the leasing, and rather than buy here, pay here, lease here, pay here kind of an approach, right? Well, it's a little bit different.
It is. The only similarity to lease here, pay here and buy here, pay here in my mind is the concept of I'm putting my money to work for me and lending my money for consumers with less than perfect credit.
Right.
That's the only similarity. In a buy here, pay here, you need to have separate inventory, separate lots, separate personnel.
That's right.
Lease here, pay here, this has been designed to be a department within my dealership, just like finance departments were created 30, 40, whatever it is, 50 years ago now.
Yeah, that's right.
As a department within the dealership to expand the revenue and the finance. This is a department within the dealership that's designed to control the lending process. Right. So my leasing company to my managers is just another lender. Right. Obviously, I have my guidelines and things, but conceptually and very simply thinking, that's really what it is, just another lending alternative.
That's pretty cool. And an opportunity for, as I said on the outset, for the dealer to make some money at this, because as you know, we've been looking at very high rates that we're turning over to banks right now, taking our good credit customers and saying, okay, here's another few $1,000s going out the door in the way of interest rates.
Well, I wish we would play back the film of when you said, hey, dealers are making record profits now. Why would a dealer want to get into it?
That's right.
And I instinctively, I felt, I love making what we were making years ago.
That's
and
right.
I have prepared the road work. I've done the legwork in order to supplement that income with this operation. So dealer profits are down. I mean, I was just at my 20 group, and good dealers, no matter what you are, good dealer, bad dealer, everyone's profits are down, but dealers enjoyed what they were making. Yeah. And if you look at where can I improve quickly, in my mind, I've always been able to do the subprime market as an area of opportunity for myself. Sure. Yes, I can improve service. Yes, I can improve sales. Right. I mean, different opportunities. But
you can to an extent, because in those areas, you're limited really, by the number of technicians and bays that you have. You know what I mean? Until you hit a capacity level.
Well, you can always tweak it a little bit. But this is something that could be transformational to a dealership that wants to take this as a serious opportunity to grow their business.
That's right. You said on the outset, about the connotation of buy here, pay here, and there's been dealers that have been, I don't know if I want to be in that business. You get some junk cars and you try to get out of them on the down payment, what you have in them and what have you. But this is something completely different. This is people that are actually getting from you new cars, used cars, older cars, and everything in between, right? Talk to me about that.
The business model is different. And again, I'm not going to knock buy here, pay here dealers.
Sure.
They serve a purpose. But
of course,
for me and most dealers, I did feel it was somewhat predatory, that it's not the business I wanted to get into. I love making money. I also love serving my community. My business model is designed to identify good customers with low credit scores. And give them an opportunity to improve their credit. We have a credit improvement component as part of our process. So in as little as 12 to 18 months, you could have somebody today that's a subprime borrower, and after our selection process, you make your payments, work with the credit coach that is supplied with the program, improve your credit up to 160 points or more. That customer is now a near prime or prime borrower. So
that's right.
Again, while I feel making money is attractive to a dealer, I also feel serving my customers and serving my community is also something that's very important to me.
Sure. Well, I think you've garnered a lot of attention from dealers out there because it's kind of the perfect storm. There's a lot of dealers out there, as I said earlier, that are cash rich because of the last 3 years, trying to figure out the best way to get a return on their money. Some are putting them into other dealerships if they can afford one, and others are just looking at every possible area of their business. At the same time, I just interviewed a young lady that represents Equifax, and she said, we are seeing a decline in credit scores. So you are seeing more people, good people, that are getting hurt from their credit scores right now for the economy or what have you.
Business in this, my lease-here-pay-here business has exploded with banks tightening up credit even further.
That's right.
Higher interest rates, higher bank fees. I set my own rates and terms. I set my own guidelines. There's a little bit of an art to it, but the fact of the matter is I have the ability to control my lending process, and that customer 6 months ago was being offered X, now is being offered Y. I can step right in and offer them a deal that actually makes sense to the customer and makes sense to the dealership.
That's right.
So I'm in more control now of the lending process, which is really what I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted to, as I said, identify that good person that needed a break, needed the opportunity to move forward. Obviously, I want to sell a car. But the fact is, by controlling the process, you have the ability to say yes with who you want to do business with.
Sure. Tell me that the story, you had mentioned it earlier about the woman that was on the showroom floor that kind of spurred this to say, wow, how many more of you are there out there, and how can I help this particular sector of the market?
I think many dealers will agree. I mean, I'm walking through my showroom floor. As I said, I had learned about the ability to improve someone's credit, and I'm walking through my showroom floor, and I hear this woman mention, I just can't keep paying X rental car company $1,200 a month. And I'm like, I stop in my tracks, I introduce myself.
For what kind of car? It was a
Corolla.
Corolla.
Yeah, for a Corolla. So I'm like, all right, I'm a Nissan dealer. I have a rental department. I said, how about I'll rent you a Sentra for $800 a month.
Right.
So saving her $400 a month. We have this credit coach that you can work with.
Sure.
At the end of a 6-month period, I'll give you half of your rent back if you end up buying the car from me. So in 6 months, she built up $2,400 of down payment, built her credit score, and I was able to sell her a car through traditional means. So actually created a rent-to-own model, which transitioned to this for reasons that functionally for a dealer would make more sense.
Right.
Scalability, funding, reporting to credit bureaus. There's a lot of reasons why I transitioned from rent-to-own to lease-here-pay-here. But functionally, it does the same thing. It allows me to control the sale, the customer to improve their credit. We do report to the credit bureaus.
Okay.
So all of
you're
our
building that credit. Yeah.
We help
it's the real deal.
Yeah, no, the customer, we do report to the credit bureaus. The customer also works with a credit coach, as we said, it's provided. So between the combination of those two, if the customer does the right thing, they can easily transition out of us being a subprime borrower. But the two components mathematically that make it work is you got to build equity and you got to build your credit score. And the only way you get equity is you pay for it. You either write a check or you build it into the program. And that's what we've done. We've designed the lease payment so the customer builds equity quickly.
Right. Now, when you say builds equity on a lease, a lot of people say, wait, how are you building equity on a lease deal versus a purchase deal?
Well, again, my leases are structured differently.
Okay.
I have very conservative residuals.
Okay.
Again, I control my residuals,
Yeah.
and there's a legal threshold in which you can't have $1 lease because then that's not considered a lease. So there's some legalese you have to comply with.
Okay.
But basically, I use a very conservative residual to protect my asset.
Sure.
But also that allows the customer to get into an equity position quickly. Yes, the payments could be higher.
Yeah.
But the fact is, the only way you get out of being a subprime borrower is build equity and build your credit score. So if that is what your goals are, then this is the plan. If you think of the alternative that a subprime borrower may have, and it's no, you can't get approved.
That's right.
Buy here, pay here. We know what the downfalls may be of that.
Of course.
High interest rate, long-term loan.
Yeah.
So yes, I might deliver you in a car at 20 some odd percent
See
for
in 5 years.
75 months.
Yeah.
And I think we may have heard on the showroom floor, hey, make your first payments and come back and we'll trade you out of the car.
Which is not the case.
The fact is it's not the case because mathematically it's not the case.
That's
you,
right.
the consumer, may have done the right thing, but the fact is you're many thousands of dollars out of equity.
Right.
For some people that might be the best option. I want to offer an option that allows you to trade out of the car at a very quick pace and get you into a low interest rate opportunity. In fact, we guarantee our customers that at 2/3 of the lease payments that you can trade out of the car and either refinance at significantly lower rates or terms or trade into something nicer and newer. So 36-month lease is pretty much our average. So we can guarantee you in 2 years that process is over and that you can transition to traditional financing, which is in my benefit also.
Of course, you
only,
got another customer in 2 years.
I'm the only subprime lender that actually wants you to refinance as fast as possible. A, I'm no longer lending you money, and B, you're coming back to me.
That's right.
So that's one of the benefits actually of doing this. You sell one car if you go to a subprime. In this business model, I have 3 revenue opportunities plus additional dealer benefits, which are significant.
That's right. Also service, and you said all the cars that you sell have an extended warranty on them. Those customers are going to be loyal to you because you put them in the car. They're going to come back to your service center to have that work done on their vehicle typically.
Absolutely. Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah,
there's no question about it. So for the dealers that are watching right now, just so that you all understand this, and these are the kind of solutions that we want to be bringing you. That's why we got, I think, such interest last time you were on. But Dealer Controlled Leasing pretty much is kind of the McDonald's of this. You come in with your team, your know-how, your information to say, we're going to set
technology
and your technology, which is a big part of this, and set that dealer up, right?
Yeah, it's a turnkey solution. We provide the business model. We're very clear up front. It's your business to run. We're going to give you the road.
And your money.
And your money, and we can talk about that in a little bit also. But it's your business to operate.
Right.
We will give you the roadmap of what successes I've had, why we've had it. I believe as a retailer myself, I could talk turkey with a dealer, talk about pay plans, talk about
real world
situation, what cars you should keep in inventory. We had this conversation off camera. It allows you to be very flexible in appraisals on the right cars. Allows you to acquire cars at a different price point, which you still need those vehicles. And allows you to spend a little bit more money in the shop to recondition them.
That's right.
So there's a lot of
wins here.
A lot of wins. A lot of infrastructure wins at the dealership.
And one of the biggest wins is the fact that you're almost not saying goodbye to any customer that you can't get done. You know what I mean? Now those customers at least have an avenue to go within your operation and with that salesperson or that desk person that says, "Hey, we do have an opportunity for you here." Right?
Well, our managers, the managers that have the authority to say yes, and there's a few. That's part of the selection process is who you want to have as the authority to say yes, and that's different by dealership. But those managers, we do a very thorough income assessment. We have somewhat of our own interview sheet that the customers are trying to pinpoint. Obviously, ability to make the monthly payments. Desire is very important for me. The desire to improve your credit, the desire to no longer be a subprime borrower is very important, and obviously stability and all of those things. But once you get that, then it's a pretty easy process to coach a customer into doing the right things. And I think that's one of the reasons why we have such low losses is that customers see the real benefit to themselves. It's not just I want to sell a car. It's what the consumer gets out of the product.
That's right. That's right. And I would imagine in many of these cases, this isn't a sign and drive lease. They're coming in with money. I
almost talk people out of it. I want seriously. I want a customer to. I really do. I want a customer to know that this is the best option for them and their family.
Yeah.
Because if you're, again, that subprime borrower, if you want to take that high interest rate long-term loan, if you feel that's in the best option for you and your family, no problem. Obviously I can sell that product also.
Sure.
But we just try to show what the value is to the consumer and then let them choose what makes sense to them.
In terms of a down payment or?
Well, down payment is part of what we work with, and down payment's important to our process. But again, every dealer has different guidelines of what they want. I work with a refundable security deposit of X. Another dealer may say that's not something I need.
Okay.
So that's part of the customizing of the plan for the dealership.
Okay. And that's what you'll work specific to the dealer's needs.
Again, it's totally subject to what the dealer wants. Again, we're just giving them the blueprint. We protect the collateral, as you mentioned, with maintenance, gap insurance, warranties. I provide alternate transportation.
Wow.
One thing about this segment, if the car is not driving, then obviously they can't afford to make the payment.
And then the technology to make sure that you know where the car is at all times.
Well, technology does all the tracking of the vehicles, tracking of the mileage, tracking of the insurances.
That's great.
The technology, collection of payments. I don't have my smart. We collected almost $400,000 this month in payments, and 95% of it was done without any human interaction.
That's great.
So the technology is what makes this scalable, makes it attractive for a dealership to get involved with it.
Yeah, no question about it. No question. So for the dealers that are listening, and you're available now in all 50 states.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you probably recommend that they check things out in their particular states, but you're ready to go.
Yeah, lease-here-pay-here is legal in all 50 states. We have Reynolds and Reynolds compliant lease contracts in all 50 states. It's all part of the software. We have one dealer group that has one central location of approval, and then they do electronic sign-ups amongst their other stores.
Okay.
We have a single point store that's doing 60 new and used cars a month that wants to get to 75, 80 used cars. 60 total units a month and wants to use this product as the way to get to 75, 80.
Okay, so another 20 units.
Yeah, so we can work with a single point store.
Right.
You can work with a dealer group. A dealer group can look at this as their own lending arm.
Right.
And we have the infrastructure to allow you to develop it however you want. The one thing I did want to point out as this product allows you to make really almost 4 revenues in one sale. It's obviously the initial lease profit is kept at the dealership.
Right.
But now I'm making money as the lender. Then when I bring the customer back, I'm making money when they either refinance the car or they trade up and out. So I've got 3 revenue sources: dealership, lender, dealership.
Right.
And the benefits to the dealer are...
How about the service?
And the service.
And then the service
that's almost part of it. But the dealer, as you mentioned, a lot of people have money.
Yeah.
A very great return on
That's right.
income there. There's significant tax benefits for the dealer that wants to look into it.
You shared some of those with me earlier that are specific to you and what you're doing, but very, very impressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
But to finish your question, yes, we recommend any dealer that wants to do this, get everybody involved. Get the powers to be involved, whether it be your attorney, whether it be your accountant.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I did all my due diligence. I checked with NJ Carr, that's our trade association.
Yep.
Checked with everybody, made sure I dotted every I, crossed every T. I try to avoid attorneys and consumer affairs like the plague. I recommend every dealer do the same. And but when you button it all up, it is a turnkey solution that can allow you to capture the market. And we didn't even talk about the Hispanic market, which is huge in many areas that this product is also well suited for.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Dealers that are listening to this, and this really is probably specific to dealers and maybe general managers that want to increase the bottom line at the same time, because as we all know, in many cases, the GMs run the stores and the dealers might be away from the operation. But either one, these are the kind of solutions that we want to be bringing you here at CBT News. We got a tremendous amount of inquiry. The last time Paul was on, says, we want to know more, get him back in. And that's just why we did. So this is a great opportunity. It's kind of like a perfect storm. You're sitting with a lot of cash. You want to get a great return. At the same time, you want to, help your dealership acquire more customers, sell more cars. That's what it's all about. And at the same time, you've got consumers out there that actually in your market, I don't care where you are, the credit scores are kind of coming down. So they actually need a product like this. So Paul Sansone Jr., thank you so much for coming by once again, sharing this with us and our dealer community. It's called Dealer Controlled Leasing. We're going to show all the information on the screen right here. You're a click away from getting $1 million on 100 units. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks for watching Driving Solutions, exclusively on CPTnews.com.